I'm Micah Martin. I'm a lead developer with Resilient Coders and a web developer with the Boston Globe. Now, my story is about assemblers versus makers, the different environments that you face as youth, and the way that some environments force you to assemble and some force you to make. So, this is Neo. This is one of my idols. I had an early introduction to coding. At 13, I Googled how to make a game and that search query suit my face. So I'd end up going back into class and yeah, felt like Neo. So like I said, I went back into class, but not for too long. I was actually expelled in the 9th grade from Boston Latin School. And I really didn't think I'd be able to succeed after that. Until, through Resilient Coders, we ran an Indiegogo campaign to raise money to send me to a tech boot camp, Startup Institute, where I learned that the key to success is drawing really pretty owls. So yeah, I had my college education in the streets. I feel like the difference between college and high school is retaining knowledge and the practical application of knowledge. In school, we're evaluated based on test scores, and really these tests come down to how well are you able to remember it. And in coding, we're evaluated on how well you're able to produce. And this leads to, some schools getting less funding because their students don't perform as well on these test scores, and because of this, the quality of education goes down. And because this quality of education goes down, as you can see, there's less opportunities to be introduced to the opportunity of technology, which I was blessed to have, really. So I dodged a ton of statistics in my life, actually. Not only was I expelled, a good portion of my life was spent inside foster care and juvenile detention, where it was a completely different environment from, going from Boston Latin School, where I got like my first O'Reilly book, had great mentors who were very supportive to the Jeremiah Burke, where the funding was so low that gym wasn't even included in my extracurricular activities. So it just goes to show how an environment could play a part in your productivity. Upon going to Resilient, this was one of the first things I really took note of: the view, the vibe, the space to create and the space to innovate. This is actually my mentor and one of my good friends, Freddie, who actually went to the Startup Institute with me. And it wasn't until we got this opportunity that we started realizing things. Things like socioeconomic status and how money could show some really interesting statistics on how likely you are to succeed. I grew up in the inner city, and a lot of my friends still sell drugs. It's one of the things that, I go to work at the Boston Globe, and then I come back home and my friend's talking about how much money he made doing something that he really shouldn't be doing. But I never looked down on that because I always had the philosophy that you have to make a way. If opportunity doesn't knock, you build a door, so I can never knock that. And it's like, I see entrepreneurs within all of my friends. It's just that they didn't have the same opportunity that I did from Resilient, and that's what I strive to change. I look in the tech space, and my first few times in the tech space, I always thought, I don't want to be that novelty black guy that people just hire me because, oh, we got a black kid in the office. No, I'm good. And I recognize that this is meritocracy. People are valued on how well they are, not how well they could put parts together, but how well they could decipher these parts and come up with these instruction manuals by themselves. So I feel like introducing tech into public education not only would get more people in comfy tech chair jobs, but it could also help us learn better, because tech and coding itself is practical application of everything we learn and everything we know. And yeah, that's it.